Welcome back to the channel, where we peel back the curtain on the raw, unfiltered world of WWE. Tonight, we're diving into a story that's shaken the wrestling universe to its core, a tale of love shattered, trust betrayed, and a family torn apart. Imagine the man who's faced every challenge in the ring now facing his toughest battle outside it. This is the heartbreaking saga of The Miz, his wife Maryse, and the scandal involving Liv Morgan that's left fans reeling. The Miz, Michael Mizanin, has been a WWE cornerstone for over 2 decades. From reality TV star to multi-time champion, he's built a legacy on grit, charisma, and an unshakable bond with Maryse, his wife and on-screen queen. Their love story was a beacon, glamorous, public, and seemingly unbreakable. Fans watched them on, Miz and Mrs., laughing at their banter, admiring their chemistry, and envying their picture-perfect family with 2 young daughters. But behind the glitz, something was unraveling, and the truth would hit harder than any steel chair. It started with whispers, subtle at first, like a distant storm. Sources close to The Miz say he noticed Maryse pulling away months ago. She was traveling more, often without explanation, her phone buzzing late into the night. During family dinners, her eyes were elsewhere, distracted, distant. When he confronted her, she brushed it off, blaming stress or work. But The Miz, ever perceptive, felt the weight of something unspoken. His gut screamed betrayal, and soon, the truth would confirm his worst fears. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. The wrestling world thrives on drama, but this wasn't scripted. Backstage at a Raw taping, whispers turned to shouts when a crew member spotted Maryse in a private moment with none other than Liv Morgan. The former women's world champion, known for her chaotic energy and on-screen romances, was seen laughing too closely, touching too softly, in a secluded corner of the arena. Word spread like wildfire, reaching The Miz as he prepared for a promo. His face, usually brimming with confidence, went pale. The betrayal cut deeper than any storyline. Liv Morgan, a star on the rise, has always played the wild card. Her on-screen chemistry with Dominic Mysterio already stirred controversy, but this was different. This wasn't kayfabe, this was real. Sources say Maryse and Liv grew close during a WWE charity event, bonding over shared experiences as women in a cutthroat industry. Late-night talks turned into something more, and what began as friendship crossed lines that couldn't be uncrossed. For The Miz, it wasn't just the affair, it was the public humiliation, the shattering of his carefully built world. The Miz's reaction was visceral. Friends say he stormed out of the arena, leaving his gear behind, his heart in pieces. He didn't confront Maryse right away, he couldn't. Instead, he drove home, sat in his car, and wept. The man who'd faced Brock Lesnar's Fury, who'd headlined WrestleMania, was reduced to a grieving husband. He replayed every moment of their marriage, the vows, the late-night talks, the birth of their daughters. How had it come to this? How had his queen chosen someone else? Maryse, for her part, was defiant at first. When The Miz finally confronted her, she didn't deny the affair. She spoke of feeling trapped, of living in his shadow, of needing someone who saw her as more than The Miz's wife. Her words were a dagger, each one twisting deeper. Liv Morgan, she said, understood her in ways he never could. The argument escalated, voices echoing through their Cleveland home, until Maryse packed a bag and left, leaving The Miz alone with their daughter's toys scattered on the floor. The news broke online, and the wrestling world exploded. Fans flooded, X with reactions, some mourning the end of a power couple, others taking sides. Hashtags like #MizDivorce and #LivMorganScandal trended for days. Backstage, the atmosphere was tense. Superstars whispered in locker rooms, unsure how to approach The Miz. Some, like Seth Rollins, offered quiet support, while others avoided him, fearing the drama's fallout. Liv Morgan, meanwhile, stayed silent, her social media dark, her absence from Raw noticeable. The Miz tried to keep it together for his daughters. At home, he'd smile through the pain, reading bedtime stories while his heart broke. But the grief was overwhelming. Friends say he barely slept, haunted by images of Maryse and Liv together. He questioned everything, his career, his choices, his worth. The man who'd built a brand on confidence was crumbling, and those closest to him feared he might walk away from WWE for good. Then came the health crisis that pushed him to the edge. Maryse, already battling her own demons, revealed she'd been diagnosed with a rare ovarian condition months earlier. She'd kept it secret, even from The Miz, fearing it would disrupt their family. The news hit him like a freight train. Despite the betrayal, he still loved her, still cared. He wanted to be there, but the chasm between them was too wide. The scandal had already torn them apart, and now her health hung in the balance. Backstage, the dynamics shifted. Liv Morgan's absence sparked rumors. Some said she was lying low, ashamed of the chaos she'd caused. Others whispered she was planning a heel turn, capitalizing on the scandal for a storyline. The WWE creative team, led by Triple H, faced a dilemma. How do you handle a real-life drama this explosive? Some pushed for a storyline mirroring the affair, but The Miz refused. "This isn't a game," he reportedly told producers, his voice breaking. "This is my life." The Miz's inner circle rallied around him. John Cena, a longtime friend, called daily, offering words of wisdom from his own public breakups. Alexa Bliss, who'd faced her own personal struggles, sent him a heartfelt letter, urging him to keep fighting. Even Vince McMahon, now distanced from WWE, reached out, a rare gesture from the former boss. But no amount of support could erase the pain of seeing his family unravel on a global stage. Maryse, meanwhile, was grappling with her own turmoil. Her health scare forced her to confront her choices. Sources say she reached out to The Miz, not to reconcile, but to apologize. In a tearful phone call, she admitted her mistakes, confessing that her connection with Liv was a fleeting escape from her fears. She didn't ask for forgiveness, only understanding. The Miz listened, silent, his heart torn between love and anger. He hung up without a word, unsure if he'd ever find closure. The scandal's ripple effects touched the entire WWE roster. Liv Morgan's reputation took a hit, with some superstars icing her out backstage. Rhea Ripley, who'd had her own on-screen history with Liv, was vocal about her disapproval, calling the situation a mess. Dominic Mysterio, caught in his own romantic storylines, stayed neutral, but his silence spoke volumes. The Judgment Day faction, Liv's on-screen home, felt the strain, with Finn Balor reportedly pushing to distance the group from her. Fans began to notice The Miz's performances changing. His promos, once sharp and cocky, carried a raw edge, a glimpse of the man behind the character. During a match against Drew McIntyre, he took a brutal bump, lying motionless on the mat as the crowd chanted his name. Backstage, he admitted he wasn't focused, his mind on his daughters and the divorce papers sitting on his desk. The WWE Universe, usually quick to boo his heel persona, began cheering, sensing his real pain. The divorce filing came quietly, a stark contrast to the public chaos. The Miz didn't announce it on X or in a promo. Instead, a legal notice surfaced online, confirming he'd initiated proceedings. The documents cited irreconcilable differences, but those close to him knew it was the affair that broke the marriage. Maryse didn't contest it, and the once unstoppable power couple was officially done. Their daughters, too young to understand, became the silent victims of the fallout. Liv Morgan's role in the saga remained a lightning rod. When she finally returned to Raw, the crowd's reaction was deafening, half boos, half cheers. She leaned into the controversy, cutting a promo that blurred the lines between reality and storyline. "I take what I want," she sneered, staring into the camera as if addressing The Miz directly. Fans debated whether it was scripted or personal, but the pain in The Miz's eyes during his next appearance was undeniably real. The Miz's family, especially his parents, felt the weight of the scandal. His mother, Barbara, was seen at a live event, her face etched with worry. She'd always been his biggest supporter, cheering at every match, but now she was grieving for her son's broken home. The Miz leaned on her, spending late nights talking about his daughter's future and how to shield them from the public's gaze. The family breakdowns extended beyond the ring, touching everyone who loved him. As weeks passed, The Miz found solace in routine. He threw himself into training, spending hours in the gym, channeling his grief into physicality. He began mentoring younger talent, like NXT's Braun Breaker, finding purpose in helping others. Backstage, he was quieter, less the loudmouth fans knew, but his resilience shone through. He was determined to rebuild, not just for himself, but for his girls. The wrestling world, always moving, began to shift focus. New storylines emerged, new stars rose, but The Miz's story lingered. Fans shared tributes online, posting clips of his greatest moments, reminding him of his legacy. A viral video of him hugging his daughters after a match brought tears to millions. The WWE Universe, often divided, united in their support, proving that even in a scripted world, real human connection matters. Maryse's health became a rallying point for some fans. Despite the scandal, many sent her messages of support, urging her to fight her illness. She posted a cryptic update on X, thanking those who stood by her but offering no details on her condition. The Miz, privately, ensured she had access to the best care, a final act of love for the woman he'd once vowed to protect forever. Their story, though broken, still held echoes of loyalty. Liv Morgan's future in WWE remains uncertain. Her talent is undeniable, but the scandal has cast a long shadow. Some predict she'll lean into the heel role, turning her real-life controversy into a storyline that could redefine her career. Others believe she'll step back, letting the dust settle. Whatever her path, her name will forever be tied to this chapter of The Miz's life, a reminder of how quickly trust can crumble. The Miz, now navigating single fatherhood, is writing a new chapter. He's been spotted at his daughter's school events, smiling through the pain, determined to be their rock. In interviews, he's hinted at a comeback, not just in the ring but in life. "I've been knocked down before," he said recently. "I always get back up." His words carry the weight of a man who's lost everything but refuses to stay broken. As we close this chapter, we're reminded that love, loss, and loyalty aren't just wrestling storylines, they're the threads of our lives. The Miz's journey, from betrayal to grief to resilience, mirrors the battles we all face. In the ring, he's a champion, but outside it, he's a father, a son, a man rebuilding his legacy one day at a time. Thank you for joining us on this emotional ride. Stay tuned for more stories that remind us why wrestling, at its core, is about the human heart.